Hey guys, hello gardening friends. I'm going to do a live stream for our October garden tour. So I got a new internet, well not new internet service, but they upgraded my package so it should be a lot faster and maybe I won't get lags on these live streams. Maybe I'll be able to do some more live streams a little bit easier. Alright, so let me turn the camera around. Before we get started with the garden tour, I'm going to have, actually a lot of things are still growing in the garden because we've only got a mild frost, maybe 2 days of a very, very mild frost in my garden. I think my garden has a little bit of a microclimate because it hardly got any frost even though there was ice on my windshield one day. Some of the fig leaves got a little damaged. Some of the pepper plants leaves got a little bit damaged, but not too bad really. So let me go ahead and I'll turn the camera around. And first thing, I'm going to show you something that a project that I'm working on right now, and that is biochar. So yeah, I'm making some biochar here. We had a bunch of rotten wood and stuff that we needed to get rid of before the termites got everywhere. So that's what we did. We burned up a whole pile of rotten and older wood. So got a bunch of charcoal here. So I'm gonna chop that up and smash it, make it into smaller chunks, and then charge it for some biochar. So I will go ahead and put a end screen for that when that video is live, because I think that's going to be a good video. But let's go ahead over to the garden now, and I'll show you some things that are going on there. So I don't know if you saw the video I did the other day on planting a cover crop, but that was a pretty fun video. I'll go ahead and put a card up here when this video is live. Pretty sure I can do that. But here's the area that I put that cover crop in, and you can see it is starting to sprout up. Look here closer. It's got a lot of things coming up all over the place. That may be crimson clover. I'm not positive, but I'm thinking it's crimson clover. And I also planted some rows over here. I planted some rows of kale, which I believe is right there. Actually, that's collards. I put the collards first because that's closest to the sun. And then I put a row of kale over there. And then I put a row of daikon radish. So everything is coming up really well. Looks like we got a little bit of rain last night even, but we did have some rain since I planted it too. So stuff is really coming up well. Alright, and here is some arugula. Pardon me if I go ahead and have a little breakfast. This is arugula that I just planted this fall. So it's actually not as strong as the arugula that's been growing all summer. So it's actually really, really good. So here is my wall of tomatoes. You can see I have some tomatoes that are still ripening and ones that are still coming. So we'll see if we have time for those to get ripe. Or my brother sometimes will put these in, wrap them in newspaper and put them in a box wrapped in newspaper, and they'll ripe up for a month or so. So I might go ahead and do that too, because my brother is a very good gardener. He knows what he's doing. Here's some longevity spinach that I've been picking off of, and it's been sprouting out again after it's been picked. Here's some of my peppers. This is my sweet pepper area. Even though that looks like a chili, that is actually a sweet pepper. I'm going to take a bite of that too. There's some red ones down there that are actually a little bit older. And these are pepperoncinis. I planted these this year because my wife likes the pepperoncinis when she gets like a salad from the Italian restaurant. So I got some of those. I also planted some onion sets. Those are the little bulbs that you can buy in a bag. We got onions coming up here. They're doing very well. I also have rabbit bedding on top of those onions, so they are looking good. In the front here, towards the light again, I have some garlic, which are planted way too close, but I actually like to pull out and use fresh garlic, even if the cloves are not very big yet. So I'll go ahead and thin those as I make some food. You can see my fig trees are pretty huge. I'm going to go ahead and chop those down. I'll probably chop them down to 2 or 3 feet, just so I have more garden space behind them and they're not shading my garden so much. Might be a little crazy thing to do. Here's some Chinese jade beans. I did a video on planting those. They have done well. I've eaten them raw. I haven't tried to cook any. I should have tried to cook some, but these have some seeds in here in these seed pods. Here's my moringa tree. It's getting blown around a little bit, but that's probably 12 feet tall. And I was eating moringa a lot too. This summer, I mostly just picked leaves off and ate it. I'm sorry, I just heard sound like church bells ringing. Might be church bells because it is Sunday morning. Here's some leaves that I got off the yard with the lawnmower that has leaves and grass mixed in, so it probably will get a little bit hot. This plastic bag is what I'm going to put over around this moringa tree to try to winterize it again, because this is the second year I've had it growing. Excuse me, that pepper got in my throat. Here's my JH Adriatic fig tree. That thing's up probably 15 feet. I'm going to go ahead and cut that down a little bit too. Here's some Jerusalem artichokes that were super, super tall and they fell over, so I chopped them off and tied them up. I'm not sure what kind of tubers they'll have under there. Maybe not that big since I did all that. Here's my sweet pepper area. I'm sorry, this is my hot pepper area, but some of these are not hot. Like that is a tam jalapeno. So it has the jalapeno flavor, but it has none of the heat. It's actually a sweet pepper. I can just eat it down without having hiccups or anything. Here's a banana pepper too that is sweet. I've been eating a lot of those banana peppers. Just come out here and eat them raw. And then I do have a jalapeno over here. I believe this is the jalapeno. No, that's still the tam jalapeno. Over on this other side, I have a jalapeno that actually has some hot ones on it. Nope, that's still the tam jalapeno. Maybe that is the hot one. I do have some hot jalapenos here somewhere. I think this might be it. Okay, so through here is where I had planted a bunch of carrots this spring, and they didn't do very well because I had an Everglades tomato that I planted on this arbor here, on this cattle panel actually, and it took over the whole cattle panel and shaded this whole area. So some of those carrots made it through and they're starting to bounce back. So I don't know if they'll produce carrots or not, but we'll see. I mean, they have little tiny carrots on there now. Maybe they'll have time to grow some more. Here's the raspberry patch, and an Everglades tomato took over that too. See the Everglades tomato here? They get little tiny, they're like a cherry tomato. And they did very, very well for me. All right. There's some more pepperoncinis. I actually my wife had a jar of pepperoncinis that was about empty. So I took a bunch of these pepperoncinis and I cut the tops off of them and threw them into that brine from the pepperoncinis, like a vinegary thing, and my wife is enjoying those. Here's some strawberries. They look like they're starting to grow. They will actually not die usually in the winter here, so they'll be ready to go for early spring. They call them June bearing, but we get them more like April or May here. I did plant some things in here for fall, like some kales and cilantro, and maybe some lettuce too. I think I might have planted some lettuce in here. There's a broccoli plant that's holding on from springtime. I don't know if it's going to produce any heads, but the leaves are actually good to eat, even if it doesn't produce any florets. There's some more figs back in there. That's a Diana fig. Let me get a little closer so you can see some of the figs still on there. And I don't know if they'll have time to mature either, because unless we get some super hot weather, they don't really like this cold, rainy weather. I have a brown turkey fig back there that I got a couple of figs off this year. I grafted that last year, and now it's done well. So I might take some cuttings just in case we happen to get a freeze and it freezes it above the graft. So I'll be able to propagate some brown turkeys so I don't lose them. Here's some comfrey. That comfrey's looking nice and healthy. Comfrey's great. You can, well, I won't say you can eat it, because some people will say it's poisonous, because it can actually hurt your kidneys, I believe it is, if you ate large quantities of it. My bloody dock is enjoying the cooler, wetter weather. Here's some spinach that I planted. The spinach here. And I also planted some gourmet lettuce. I did a video on that. If you want to look up that video, it was on how to plant seeds. That was also, I think, one of my best videos I've ever done, really. Some nice kale. Leaves starting to fall over the garden. There's some more. There's still got some. Oh, got some nice blackwood there. We're hiding. I can't pass that up. Look at that. Those are good. Delicious. There's a fig tree. I just pretty much cut all the excess branches and everything off of here so that the tree could put more energy into ripening up the figs. And I don't know, that might be a Celeste. I'm not sure what variety that one is, but it's done very, very well. Looks like I'll have time to get some more off of those if we don't get any major frost here soon. Here's some more arugula. Doing very nicely. My persimmon tree did not produce this year. It had a lot of buds on it this spring. If you saw my spring tours, had a lot of buds on, but they all dropped off. Not sure exactly what happened with that. But anyways, there's always next year. Things will go better next year, right? Here's a fig tree that I planted in a pot to get ready to sell it. And you can see that the frost has made these leaves about to fall off. So I just push on them like that and they'll fall right off because of the frost got to this tree a little bit. But what I wanted to show you is that it actually had some figs on it already. Even though I transplanted it and put it in the pot, I think all the leaves fell off of it when I put it in the pot too. Didn't really like to be transplanted. but that'll be ready for someone if they want it now or in the spring. Oh, hi, MB, Heritage Farms. Thanks for stopping in on the live stream. I'm about over, but since you're here, I'll take you down and end up where I started at my biochar that I'm making. We were burning up a bunch of old firewood. So I got a bunch of coals last night, and I came out here and I sprayed water on to stop it from burning the whole way to ashes. So I'll be making a biochar video. So let me turn the camera around here. Alright, thanks for watching, and I think my internet did do a lot better on this live stream, so maybe I'll be able to do some more live streaming from the garden. Alright, thanks for watching, and have a blessed day, and have a great end of October into November. Alright, I'll see you again real soon. Have a blessed day. Now I have to figure out how to end this live stream. Here we go.